And we are live. What is up, everyone? I hope all is well. I am your host, Jorge Luis Quintero, and welcome to another episode of Quintero o Dinero. It is August 23rd, Monday. School is just starting up for college once again. So a huge shout out to everybody who is starting their first semester, finishing their last semester, finishing their final year, and just doing it. This is my last year of graduate school. I've been at that school for way too damn long, going on 8 years at the University of Incarnate Word. But through it all, I've loved every single moment of it, and I'm still continuing to love it. I'm still continuing to grow, continuing to expand, and break walls, break barriers. Finishing up on my last year of graduate school, I questioned if it's even worth it, if it's even worth finishing my master's, especially during COVID, when school was virtual. Which, it had its pros and had its cons. But I think with everything in life, for every con, there's a pro, and for every pro, there's a con. It's a contradiction. It's like a paradox. For me, why was it a contradiction? Because, one, I felt like I could be doing more with my time instead of wasting my time at school when it's something that is self-taught, at least from some courses that I've took, where it's literally self-taught. All it takes is discipline, and I'm paying for it. There's a lot of things that I don't like about college. One, student debt. Two, schools of business with less money in the university, less resources. So it makes it more difficult. Luckily, where the school I'm at, there's a lot of resources. There's a lot of help, a lot of networking events that we just don't take advantage of. Especially in my undergrad years, I thought to myself, there's more important things in my life than just going to like networking events, going to these events that would help me with my resume, being professional development events that I never attended that I wish I did in my undergraduate years. As a undergraduate student athlete, my first priority was taking care of what was important to me, which was my job, track and cross country, and myself. So to me, it was always, athletics first, second, my health, or, even first my health, then athletics, third is school. So I wasn't really able to utilize the resources I had at school. I wasn't able to really fulfill being a student because I was so focused on everything else. To me, if anything, as long as I passed, that's what mattered with me. And it should have never been like that, strive for greatness, with everything. And unfortunately, I always put education last. But now as a master's student, I'm focused more now on nothing but A's, and A's. Also because I was never really an A honor roll student. A's, B's, some C's here and there. But going with that, I questioned if I wanted to finish my last year of master's. All I have is one more year left in my degree. Not even 1 year left, 3 courses. Part of it was I've been there for too damn long. I see the same people. I could be expanding more, and I'm going back to that second voice in my head would like to call it the box. And then people are going to be, oh, look at this old head. The thing is, you shouldn't care what anybody says. You need to shut out that voice, that negative voice that brings you down, that holds you down, because that second voice, that second consciousness isn't helping you. If anything, it's restraining you, and you need to fight that voice. Because at the end of the day, it's do you. Do you. Don't focus on nobody else. Everybody else is in different positions in life. And that's what I've learned in life too, is, everybody is in a different position in life. So do you. Worry less about others and worry more about yourself. Self-care is important. But as a college student, the experiences, the moments, the memories will always be everlasting. That's one thing that I don't regret, is the good times, the bad times, the L's, the lessons learned, because all that molds you into the person that you're becoming, your character. Now with my final year of graduate school, I'm refining it. I'm focusing on the details, because if you don't focus on the details, you leave gray areas. And with those gray areas causes, I would like to say, confusion. A good example is my business partner and myself, we went into a dispute the other day, and he told me I work too fast. My response to him, without even understanding, my reaction was, bro, we're in different positions in life, and I am hungry. I'm trying to work, get this money, and, grow tacos el chief. But after coming home, reflecting and taking time to understand, I realized that sometimes I do work too fast, and because of that, there's gray areas for missing out on those specific details, and now there's questions that need to be answered. So sometimes it takes patience. It takes taking steps back, breathing, understanding, and focusing on those little details, because we forget about those little details, and those little details will leave out those gray areas, and they will complete everything. The refinement, baby. It is the refinement. With all those experiences, you learn these lessons. But you need to have action. Sometimes you just need to say, fuck it, and do what you got to do. Closed mouths don't get fed. And if you're not acting and if you're not moving, you're going to stay in the same spot, in the same position. And you're never going to grow. You're never going to fly like the Cardinals. Word up, Cardinals. You need to take risks, but be smart with risks. Look at it through different angles. And as you learn, You begin to develop. As you develop, you grow. As you grow, you level up. You level up, double up. And that's what I've seen in this journey through, being a student at a school for going on 8 years now, is the growth, the expansion, utilizing your resources, talking with your classmates, talking with professors, talking to different departments, seeing how you can expand. Is there networking opportunities, connecting? That is one thing that I'm grateful for, especially at my school, is the networking, the connections, and the resources. If you don't take advantage of those, I don't know what you're doing within your college life. So for the students who are hearing this podcast, talk to your classmates, get to know them, get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out of your comfort zone in order to get out of this box, in order to expand, to grow. The way I see it in college, if you're going to a college for 7-8 years like myself, is like this. You're in a classroom stuck by yourself in a small class. How do you expect to get out of it? How do you expect to grow and expand? Well, you got to go within your mind, look at it and see how you can break the walls around you, how to break those barriers. And that's your escape, That's when you start building. That's when you start growing, evolving, innovation. It's important. But with that, again, it's seeing how you can work well with others too. One player is not going to beat a team. One team isn't going to beat a community. We need to be a community. We need to build more communities. We need to build strong communities. And I want to give a huge shout out to Stephen Luki from Gardopia Gardens. Huge shout out to Jairo Cruces, that's my dog. Huge shout out to Eddie Garcia, that's my dog. That's what they're doing is, one, they're hungry individuals, but two, they're doing great things. And, it involves building communities, building everlasting relationships, connections, networking, seeing how we can use each other for the common good, for society, how we can help each other out, how can we help each other grow, evolve. And the beautiful thing about it too is, especially in college and my school, is the diversity. There's so much diversity. And when you have that diversity and you bring it all along, you learn different habits, you learn cultures. And then when you compare their cultures to your culture, in a way, it's very similar. It's almost the same in a way. It's just, difference. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be differences for sure. But, they're all so similar. I like to see it like this, when you have a room with diversity, you have more ideas, more brainstorming. You have more spices. That's why Tacos El Chief is so successful, if you ask me so far, is, my business partner is from Brazil. I was born in El Paso. To me, El Paso is its own country, but my dad's from Colombia, my mom's Mexico. You use the different spices of Mexico, Brazil, and Colombian, and you make it with food, and it's amazing what the creations that you can make. As I'm finishing my last semester of college, my last year of college, actually, I'm excited. Nothing. That is all I have to say for everybody hearing this podcast and tuning in. Whatever I say, it's through my experiences. It's my opinion. Take everything with a grain of salt, but I hope it helps you. For the people finishing college or starting out college, finish strong. With this last year, focus on refinement, on refining that tuning. For the people that are starting off their first college years, full force, baby. Keep building that momentum, strive for greatness. That's all I can literally say. And, shut out that voice that's holding you back in life. Do you and do you only. And when you do you and you focus on yourself and you begin to grow as a person, you can help other people out. That is all, folks. You guys have a blessed one. Que todo está calmado en el barrio y viva la raza.